This is the AEW Collision September 27, 2025 full show results video, which takes place at Marshall Health Network Arena in Huntington, West Virginia. The show kicks off with AEW stars delivering intense promos. Daniel Garcia declares he's willing to pay any price, while Daddy Magic demands answers after 4 years of loyalty, threatening to beat them out of Garcia. Jamie Hayter and Julia Hart vow to dominate, with Hart claiming the Hart always wins. Komander sets his sights on the TNT Championship against Hologram, who experiences a glitch on the big screen. Meanwhile, Kyle Fletcher attacks Hologram before being pulled off, setting the stage for tonight's high-stakes matches. Then we saw a trios match between the Death Riders versus Paragon and Daddy Magic Matt Menard. The match opened with Daniel Garcia and O'Reilly exchanging technical holds and fast-paced strikes, including headlocks and rope-running takedowns. Momentum shifted quickly as O'Reilly tagged in Daddy Magic, who targeted Garcia with chops, punches, and tags to Claudio. The action escalated with Jon Moxley entering, trading chops and forearms with Daddy Magic, leading to a high-intensity chop fest. Garcia and Claudio were double-teamed in the corners, with the brawl spilling to the floor, including knees, chair shots, and suplexes. Back in the ring, tags continued, with Strong and O'Reilly double-teaming opponents, while Moxley and Claudio delivered suplexes, giant swings, and big knees. Garcia's resilience shone through as he dodged Daddy Magic's piledriver attempt and countered with a series of strikes. The climax saw Moxley and Garcia coordinate attacks, culminating in Garcia slamming Daddy Magic's head to the mat for the pinfall. In a chaotic, high-octane match filled with near falls, double teams, and high-impact moves, Daniel Garcia secured a hard-fought victory, showcasing his skill, timing, and toughness. After the match, Strong and O'Reilly check on Menard and get him out of the ring. The Death Riders are still at ringside as Moxley talks to the camera. Then we saw a mixed tag team match between Wheeler Yuta and Marina Shafir versus Rachel Ellering and Rosario Grillo. The mixed tag team match kicked off with Wheeler Yuta dominating early, hitting an Olympic slam and hammer and anvil elbows. Tags brought Marina Shafir and Ellering into the action, with Shafir asserting control through strikes, kicks, and a body slam. Shafir applied the mother's milk submission, wearing down her opponent. Yuta returned to the ring to finish the match with a decisive Buseku knee on Grillo. The match concluded with the Death Riders securing a clean victory. After the match, Wheeler Yuta grabs a mic and fires a scathing promo. He calls out Chris Statlander for betraying friends, blaming her championship on him, and vows revenge. Yuta declares Marina Shafir will take action this Wednesday. He also warns Darby Allin, referencing Mount Everest, hinting at ominous consequences for his next opponent. After Wednesday's Dynamite, AEW World Champion Hangman Adam Page acknowledges the Ops for their help in his title win and offers to step in while Shibata is out. Page criticizes the Death Riders for failing to learn their lesson. Samoa Joe backs him, using a teaching metaphor, warning that with a new coach, they'll be run down on the field. He promises that next week they'll learn lessons that will stick for life. Then we saw a tag team match between Max Caster and Anthony Bowens versus Swirl. The match opened with Bowens and Caster tagging themselves in, sparking early tension. Chaos ensued as Blake Christian and Johnson joined the fray, exchanging high-impact moves like Fosbury flops, back suplexes, monkey flips, and thrust kicks. Caster repeatedly interfered, mocking opponents and manipulating tags, frustrating Bowens. Bowens delivered a Faymaster and a mic drop, but Christian and Johnson countered with dives, splashes, and reversals. The action spilled outside multiple times, with barricade hits and aerial attacks. Despite Bowens' efforts and near falls, Caster regained control, hit a top rope elbow on Johnson, and secured the decisive pinfall, ending a fast-paced, chaotic, and high-flying contest. After the match, Jerry Lynn comes to the ring to celebrate with Bowens and Caster. The fans then chant scissors, and Caster seems on board, but Bowens leaves the ring. Backstage, Mother Wayne meets with Kip Sabian and Nick Wayne, discussing recent tensions. Sabian admits he didn't trust the dinosaur, while Nick shrugs it off. Nick declares Christian Cage as his target, claiming Cage has only made his problem bigger. He proclaims he's not average but the future of pro wrestling and vows to become Cage's biggest nightmare. Confident and calculating, Wayne emphasizes that he's always one step ahead of Christian Cage, setting the stage for a looming showdown. We then head to the back, where Lexi Nair is interviewing Tay Mello and Anna Jay about how excited they are with the women's tag team titles. Anna Jay says they will work to win the title they have been waiting for 5 years. Then we saw a trios match between the Outrunners and Dalton Castle vs KM, Corey Sparks, and Capo Paul, and the result of this match was the Outrunners and Dalton Castle won the match by pinfall when the Outrunners came in and hit him with a double bionic elbow, then Castle hit the banger ring for the win. Then we saw a match between Kyle Fletcher vs Komander for the AEW TNT Championship. The match between Komander and Kyle Fletcher was a high-intensity, back-and-forth contest. Komander started aggressively, rolling Fletcher up for early near falls and hitting dropkicks, chops, and top rope maneuvers, even taking Fletcher to the floor with a moonsault. Fletcher responded with boots, forearms, chops, and heavy slams, targeting Komander on the apron and barricade. Komander countered Fletcher's brainbuster attempts and landed a spectacular 450 splash, but Fletcher kicked out. Both men showcased resilience with near falls and high-risk moves. In the closing moments, Fletcher recovered from Komander's top rope attacks, hit a decisive knee, and followed with a brainbuster to secure the victory. The match highlighted athleticism, strategy, and sheer determination from both competitors, keeping the crowd engaged throughout the thrilling encounter. Kyle Fletcher is in the backstage area as they show Hologram being attacked by Fletcher after the vignette aired with El Clan. Fletcher then issues an open challenge, and it is announced that Orange Cassidy will challenge Fletcher for the title on Dynamite. Then we saw a tornado tag team match between Hook and Eddie Kingston versus Big Bill and Brian Keith. The match opened with Eddie and Hook fighting Bill and Keith, while Kingston got involved in the action. Early chaos saw Bill and Keith double-team Hook and target Kingston on the floor with cannonballs and steel step attacks. Eddie and Hook fought back, slamming Bill and stopping his double choke slam attempt. Kingston contributed with strong strikes and near-fall attempts, but Bill's pump kick nearly ended it. In the closing sequence, Eddie hit a dragon screw on Bill, Hook neutralized Keith, and finally applied the Red Rum submission to secure the win for their team in a hard-fought, fast-paced contest. Backstage, Lexi Nair interviews Austin Gunn and Juice Robinson about pushing last week's top tag team to the limit. Juice mentions Jay White called for help, and Ace Austin appears, revealing his long-standing connection with Robinson. In the main event of the show, we saw a match between Jamie Hayter vs Julia Hart. The match opened with Jamie Hayter dominating Julia Hart early, taking her down repeatedly and stomping in the corner. Hart tried to mount an offense, but Hayter maintained control, sending her into the turnbuckles, hitting dropkicks, and suplexing her multiple times. Sky Blue interfered briefly, hitting Hayter and aiding Hart, but Hayter recovered. Both women exchanged near falls and high-impact moves, including moonsaults, tombstone piledrivers, and submission attempts like an octopus hold. Despite Hart's resilience, Hayter countered several attacks and executed her finishing move, the Hayterade, securing a hard-fought victory in a fast-paced, back-and-forth contest that showcased both competitors' athleticism and tenacity. After the match, Sky Blue ambushes Jamie Hayter with an elbow, and she and Julia Hart double-kick her. Queen Aminata runs down with a belt, chasing them off, followed by Thekla's arrival. Hayter grabs a mic, calls out the Triangle of Madness, and declares that the only solution is blood and guts. Thekla responds, "Bring it on," as the show closes on a tense standoff. How would you rate this week's AEW Collision show? Tell me in the comments, and thanks for watching the video.